Grant us the grace to discern fact from rhetoric and the courage to acknowledge difficult realities that we see in front of us. May the intentions of every participant be honest and aligned with the common good. We ask for integrity in our process. When we debate, let it be with respect for every perspective, and may we never let personal gain overshadow public service. Help us remember that we are the stewards, here to serve the needs of all of our citizens, particularly the most vulnerable voices in our community. Lord, inspire us to make decisions that build a stronger, more sustainable, and more just city for generations to come. Let truth prevail, let wisdom guide, and let service be our standard. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't really even know where to start, to tell you the truth. But I will say that I think the citizens of the city were blindsided, that we thought you had a better plan to update our infrastructure. Seems to me that the water board, the NPL working for the gas company, and the sewer department doesn't know what the right hand is, the left hand is doing. They don't know. They're not coordinated. I called the PSC today to see who approved this plan. I know the PSC, they approved, yeah, put your line in. But who approved this plan for the destruction of our city roads? This could have been done in a better fashion. I think anyone would agree. That I imagine that the people of the city, like me, thought you would start in one area, replace your lines, your taps, pave it, move to another area, concentrate all your efforts together. I talked to one of the guys that works for Thrasher at the top of my hill this morning at Carr Avenue on Main Street. He said NPL is not working with the water board. They're fighting against each other. They show up at a site, NPL's digging, the water board's supposed to be there. The water board's, no, you can't. There's no one overseeing these companies, and they're running roughshod on our city. Now, winter's coming. Winter is coming. It's going to be here Monday. Hopefully we don't get snow. What's going to happen when these snowplows start hitting the city? We're supposed to get a bad winter here. They're predicting it, feet of snow. What's going to happen to the city when these snowplows start hitting all these botched patch jobs? I live on Carr Avenue, and I've been dealing with Main Street out of town for the past 3 years. I've seen what happens. Huge potholes that I had to go to the other side of the street to get to my street. And I called the PSC this morning because I wanted to know who approved this crazy plan. Who? And they said city council. They said city council said, okay, this is cool, go ahead and do it. I don't know, because I wasn't in your meeting. And I talked to Mr. Lane, and I see you're up against some problems with getting fittings and getting parts because they're all made in America. Well, why were the projects done if you didn't have the parts? Yes, you got federal funding, he said, and you're up against the timeline. Well, ask for an extension for these projects. He said, we're trying to fit 3 years of work in 1 year. And who's left? And I understand these things need to be done. The water board knew these lines were lead and lead taps for at least the last 50 years. Where was their planning? Not until the EPA and someone filed that their child was getting lead poison did they act. I worked for the gas company, CNG, up the street used to be, before they sold out to Dominion. Back in the 90s, they knew these gas lines were running like so, but everybody kept passing the buck. Now, the citizens of this city are paying for it. Yes, we have to be inconvenienced, but our vehicles are being destroyed. Destroyed. I paid $1,700 to have the axles replaced on my car not too long ago. I'm not a mechanic. I can't do that. I had to go to the Dodge garage, $1,700. Why? Because I went and like, why? What is this grinding noise? I'm trying my wheels. 2 front axles. Didn't have my car for days. They were nice enough to bring me back from what's now Harry Green Dodge, drive me home and pick me up because I don't have anyone. My son's working. I have no one to do this. What about people who are driving older cars? This is ridiculous, and somebody needs to be accountable for this destruction. It was not done in an orderly manner, and nobody is overseeing it apparently, because if you look or walk around, drive around these streets, you can see that they're digging up the same lines over and over and over again. Why was it not coordinated? I'm not against upgrades. I'm against of the way this was done. And I think every person in this city that drives these roads, that is forced to drive them, feels the same way that I do. I walked here from Carr Avenue because I won't bring my car down here. It's repaired. Why would I bring it down here? I walked to City National Bank. I walked up to the school board to pay my lunch bill the other day because I won't drive in this town. I went to Domino's 2 weeks ago to pick up a pizza. It is ridiculous.
Sorry, time went on. You can finish your thought, but I'm sorry.
I hold you guys accountable. You are the ones who should have told these companies, you have to work together in our city to do this in a timely manner. Work together. Put the line in, put a line in, put a line in, cover the hole up, and go on. But you've let them ride roughshod over our city by the lack of your management. And I'm sorry I'm here, but I'm angry and I'm upset, not for myself. What about school buses? What about our city buses? The repairs that are going to happen to these buses driving on these streets. Our police cars. How are our ambulances going to get through if we have a lot of snow and the streets can't be plowed?
City Manager Bell has a comment, though, in response.
So, we completely understand. We have bi-weekly meetings with every single company involved. We were under the gun because the Department of Highways will not repave Pike and Main, which has been on the books for the last 15 to 20 years, unless all the infrastructure was replaced.
But this started in spring and Pike and Main are not done.
The construction started in March. The paving is going to start in April. We were not guaranteed funds. In fact, we were pretty much told if we don't have all these lines done by April, they weren't going to pave. And the problem and nobody's digging up the same line 3 times.
I've seen them do it.
They're not. So they're digging up a gas line. They're digging up a water line. Now, some of them happen to be in the same place. But you have 3 different companies, and for safety reasons, you can't have the gas company in the same hole as the water company. You can't do it.
I'm not saying in the same, but why couldn't one crew come in one day, do their thing, the next crew come in the next day?
The infrastructure is so old. A good example of what happened is they were digging down by Wendy's. The vibrations blew a line down by Monticello. That's what we're dealing with. And these line ruptures, because the infrastructure is so old, are happening on a daily basis that we're trying to manage.
I understand that. And that's why, wouldn't it be better to do one section at a time instead of tearing the whole town up?
No, you can't, because then you won't finish. In the deadline we had set out was 10 months. So we're doing 3 to 5 years work in 10 months, because what's happened historically in the city is we'll do exactly what you were asking. We will replace the line and then pave it. And 6 months later, we'll tear up the new pavement, replace the line, and pave it again. The people who end up paying that bill are all of you, over and over and over.
We're paying for it now.
One time, not 3.
We're going to have a future meeting with the utility companies correct?
Yes, they're
So
coming
we're
next
gonna bring
week.
them in, and so
Yeah.
we invite the public to come answer those questions. We aren't over top of it, I'm not sure why they said that, but if you have more time to answer questions, so.
Yeah, Hope Gas, we've invited Hope Gas, Department of Highways, and the Water Board, the next council meeting here.
Here, next week?
It would be council, it's actually on the agenda to switch till the 18th. So it'll be a Tuesday, not a Thursday.
But
they
once
will
again,
all be
I
here.
blame the gas company and the water company for their lack of maintenance of their infrastructure. It's them. They have neglected these lines for years. And now all of a sudden, because they're all getting sued, they got to hurry up and fix everything to our inconvenience instead of it being done in a more orderly fashion. And I just wanted you to know that it's wrong. And everybody who's involved doesn't care. They got their own agenda. Thank you.
George McQueen Jr. wishes to address council concerning the naming of the Broad Oaks Bridge.
Yes, please.
If I can get over there. I don't think we'll fit through there. Well, I need to go.
Yes, there's been a new bridge built in Broad Oaks. My dad, George L. McQueen Sr., Feeney, was born and raised in Broad Oaks. Was a private first class in World War II. He was a member of the Broad Oaks Church, attended Ala Vista Central WIRW, member of the Broad Oaks Methodist Church, was on the Methodist Men. He has coached Ala Vista basketball, Elks Little League, Babe Ruth, Broad Oaks midget basketball, Broad Oaks Methodist Church League high school team, and also had an adult basketball team he coached. He was well liked by all the kids and adults in Broad Oaks. He was a member of most of the organizations in Clarksburg, was a Shriner. He worked at the factory, retired from the factory. He would even stop at the bridge if the kids were down there and talk to them. If they were at the Broad Oaks Dairy Bar, he would stop. If kids needed a ride to a game or anything, Dad would stop. He would even stop and play ball with us. You know, he was hurt playing with us, but he would even stop and play with us. My dad was, like I said, born and raised in Broad Oaks, and he cared about the kids in Broad Oaks. And I think it'd be really nice if they would dedicate that bridge to my dad for the reason that he spent his time with the kids and stuff in Broad Oaks.
Tommy Lopez, 307 Spring Avenue, wishes to address council concerning the study.
I'll squeeze myself in here too. A little bit tighter. Hi, everyone. Back here again to speak a little bit about recreation, community, and educational needs here. I was very disappointed, like many in our community, to see the passing of the time of the YMCA. And I understand the city has a burden that we have to go through and what the plan is that's going to be done. And with that, I'm here because, as you all are aware, I have been here multiple times seeking a similar study for the city for Village Square, to turn Village Square into a community education, recreation, and opioid avoidance center. And so when you consider what the future viability of the YMCA is, one must consider what the other components in the marketplace are going to be. And I've had some conversation with Mr. Nardelli, and it's certainly great, that we're doing the study on the why, and that has to be done for a variety of reasons. But to stop it there and not consider and encompass the rest of what's going on in the community, there isn't really a true way that you can evaluate the viability of the YMCA until you know what is the viability of whether we're doing it or not, what's going to be going on at Village Square, and further, what's going to be going on with the Thunderdome. Because whether we knock down WI or not, which is what I think is the most viable solution, the Thunderdome is certainly viable property. So we cannot, as a community, say we've adequately evaluated one piece of our asset with the YMCA and not in turn include the other things in the community that could potentially involve that. Further, with Village Square, I was told that the reason that my application for funding was denied was because the property was not located in the city of Clarksburg. And although the annexation was going to be considered, that was the whole point of doing the studies. I was told that everything that I brought here to you guys, every federal grant that aligns with the opioid funding that I have proposed to be used to study this project and to make it become a reality for our community, that I was correct. It was thought that we could get all the federal grants too by staff here. And I kind of stopped, when I was told that it didn't qualify because we weren't in the city limits, and explained that a lot of businesses aren't in the city limits. That's why we're doing the study to see the viability to annex it. And as we look at the needs of our community, we know the senior citizen center is struggling. We're in chaos over our schools. Bridgeport is expanding the bridge. Bridgeport's getting $35 million to expand their high school. We're getting zero. And I'm not saying that high school doesn't need it. It does. But, we have to really take a much bigger, broader look at what we're doing. I've been from the basement to the roof of every building the school system owns in the last year. I've been from the basement to the roof of the Gore, the Golf, the Chase building, the Village Square. Okay, we have needs and things in this community that we have to draw back from and study collectively in order to make good opinions. And we're struggling as a community. We all know that. And our recreational and educational needs need to be addressed. And, the wise viability, we all know what that is. Okay, it's going to be viable for something other than what it was potentially. Again, I think it's good that we have to do the study, but we need to include Village Square, and we need to include looking at the rest of the park system. Okay, is it more valuable to put a splash park at Nutter Fort Park for $3 million, or take that money and let's dome the current aquatic center and use it year round? Create that into a destination. And if we redo Village Square, dome the pool, we're trying to take Height Field to turn that into soccer space and the green space that would encompass that, then we have something at the crux of the intersection where all of our school traffic all comes now. And that's another huge problem. We've got kids 6:30 in the morning catching a bus. Okay, all the neighborhoods are getting woken up. It's on Facebook and Broadway. It's on Facebook and Staley. My neighborhood, it's happening. We have so many collective needs for the kids and the people of this community that I'm back here to ask you to add Village Square into the study. I spoke to James Swagler from WYK Associates again this morning. And again, for $25,000, he can do the renderings, do the things that we need to do to get cost basis so we could see where we're really going to be at. And that gives us a leg up as we try to do this other stuff. And there is opioid money that can be used, even for the $10,000 that you guys are going to use for the current study. Okay, in my opinion, you could use opioid money for it. This is the biggest thing, okay, is the stigma removal, okay, and the memorandum of understanding that you could use to use that money. We're the number one opioid community in the country, folks, and so let's try to pull that together would be my suggestion. And my ask of everyone is to just look at it collectively. Thank you.
City manager's report.
So I have council 2 documents. I'm going to quickly run through the city manager's report and then go over the second document that's included. So the concert season is officially concluded on October 4th. Winterization of amphitheater and related facilities has been completed. They held neon nights in October with over 100 participants. And the pickle net balls have been taken down and stored for the winter. Under code, so we sent out letters to property owners concerning the demolition of the properties and gathered the necessary documents to submit more to SHPO. We've had a number of meetings about which houses should be placed on the demo list. There's been 112 building permits given, and all inspectors are keeping daily logs and reviewed weekly. Finance has collected over $1.3 million in B&O taxes and almost $38,000 in hotel tax. The annual PSC report for 24-25 has been completed and submitted. Staff is now working on the annual audit of city financials. They're reviewing the request for proposal for the city banking, and they're doing a revision for the general fund number 2. The fire department responded to a total of 293 calls for service in October, received 3 of the 4 trucks from the CDS grant, and hopefully the 4th truck comes soon. The hazmat, air packs, and firefighter turnout gear have also been received from the CDS grant, and the fire department went to different schools in the city for Fire Prevention Month. There's been training happening in community and community development. They've submitted the West Virginia First Foundation grant, secured 2 grants with no matching funds for the Waldo project. They've created a step-by-step manual for federal contracting and building for finance, and assisted with other projects as well. The police department has responded to 1,956 calls for service in the month of October. 2 officers will be graduating from the West Virginia State Police Academy, and backgrounds are being conducted for new applicants. There will be a church safety seminar held on November 7th in council chambers at City Hall. The street department has been very busy helping with community events, picking up trash, securing properties, releasing 65 gallons of leachate water for the month. Compost remains open. They're finishing up work at Northview Station. They repaired the elevator at the parking garage. And there's been a lot of work going on right now on the YMCA. I sent a document out to council kind of outlining that at the request of Councilman Deans. The Robinson Ground Performing Arts schedule for November is out. If you want to see what's being performed there, go to the robinsonground.com. I also got a call from a counselor about the spotlights. So there was a ballet there. We got those working again, and those were on earlier this week. Sewer and sanitary responded to 22 calls and numerous missed utility calls. They're repairing lines, and they're working very diligently on all this road construction. We are having, all the contractors have been invited to next council meeting to discuss how we can get, well, those metal plates have to be removed, but specifically have smoother roads for winter so we can make sure we can clear the snow. And I really hope we actually have little to no snow, so I hope they're wrong on that. The blacktop has been removed at Monticello Park. Dirt was hauled in and it was reseeded and covered for spring. We're working with Doug at Parks for a plan for Monticello that Councilmember Jackson's been very energetic to get some of those done, so we're excited about that. Now the other document I gave council. So as council knows, through our opioid funds, we started an outreach program. We hired a social worker, and we have 2 additional staff members coming in. I can't remember who that's through, Mark. First choice. So they have been here for less than 3 months, and to date, they've served 47 individuals. They've assisted 22 of those. They've had contact and engaged with, but have not been ready to transfer into rehabilitative care or detox. 6 individuals. We have 10 individuals refusing service, and I can't remember. Oh, here it is. 15. We're trying to identify how many are from Harrison County. So 15 out of the 47 are not being residents of. We're not residents of Harrison County. But out of the 47, the rest were. Not just Clarksburg, but Harrison County itself. So this is our first rendition of this, and we'll continue to give this every 3 months to council. But council, if you want more information, we just tried to protect the names and that type of thing on here. Do you have any questions about that?
Were any of these individuals met at camps in the city limits?
So we got calls about, there were some at a church. We got calls, we went to a hotel. I know they've gone to different meal programs that we have. Mark, where else is Devin going?
She's visited campsites, relocated people, old camps, new camps, on the street. She goes on calls with us if somebody needs assistance.
Wherever the need is. I'll send that out digitally to council as well with more details.
No unfinished business. New business, consideration of a counter offer from Equitrans LP regarding right-of-way agreement for PK Mines property northeast of the Public Works Garage.
So council, this is their counter offer. They said they only do one-time payments. So they went up from around 22,000. This is the number that they agreed to.
I'll make a motion then for consideration.
I'll second that way.
Discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of the naming of the recently completed Hayman Highway Bridge.
Make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we rename the Hammond Highway Bridge after Philip W. Carter.
Who is that?
Philip W. Carter grew up here and grew up here. Okay. Just make a motion.
Motion. Second. Second?
Yeah.
Motion and second, we have discussion?
Oh, yeah, Philip W. Carter grew up here during his high school years. Used to be called Water Street. Now it's called E.B. Saunders Way. Phil Carter spent most of his career in life, as a professor at Marsh University Social Work Department. He during his time here in Clarksburg, and his mother, lived here, for the remainder of her life. Once they moved here, I think his mother ended up living to be like 90 years old or something. But he really mentored a lot of folks. Even after he left Clarksburg, he went to Kelly Miller School, and then the sophomore year was when desegregation happened, and WI desegregated. He spent time, he spent the rest of his high school years there at WI. Phenomenal basketball player, was, he got a scholarship to Marsh University. I think he was probably only the second black athlete, in Marshall's history. I think the first was Hal Greer, which ended up playing in the NBA, was one of the top 50 basketball players, athletes of all time at that time. Talk about Hal Greer. But, Phil Carter ended up mentoring a lot of folks. A couple that I see here today in the audience. He developed leaders in the community, and I just think his story, of even growing up here in Clarksburg, in the Kelly Miller School, attending Mount Zion Baptist Church, and just the leadership that that was brought forth to him, mentored to him from this community. He's brought that out to the world. Just in my opinion, I think has, it is really a good picture of who we are here in Clarksburg, and our reach, beyond Clarksburg, and so that's why I thought it would be he would be a great candidate for the renaming of the bridge. Not saying that the other two wouldn't, because I think everybody is everyone in this community, has pulled together, care about our kids, care about our youth growing up. I just feel personally that, Phil Carter has, really brought, really molded a lot of leaders, not only in this community, but beyond this community. He comes from this community, so.
I would think you would name the bridge after someone who lived in Broad Oaks, who helped Broad Oaks.
Sir, you can talk to them after the meeting, but we can't have discussion. We can't have discussion back and forth. We can discuss after the
Okay.
meeting.
All right, I'm sorry. I understand.
I do got a couple comments. This isn't the easy part of being on council. Mr. McQueen is definitely deserving, the Billy Uncle family, the grandparents, what they've done for that area. We don't have enough people like that anymore in our community, that's there to lead, be leaders for the children. Mr. Carter, very deserving, an amazing bio. I read it a few times and it was just astonishing. There's so many things that he did. Mr. McQueen, what he did for the kids, that's holds a special place in my heart. I don't like this part of being on council, naming things. I think it's very difficult. I like to still look for more ways to recognize people like that. We can find something else. There's unnamed alleys somewhere in Broad Oaks. I believe they deserve to be recognized. We need role models for people now. Follow the lead that they did. So hopefully we can look into that community neighborhood and see if there's other ways, that any alleyways or something like that, we can recognize them as well. Any more discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of a contribution of $10,000 to the Harrison County Senior Citizen Center.
Madam Clerk, I move we consider a contribution of $10,000 to the Harrison County Senior Citizens.
Please note, council, this, can identify we would take this from the contingency fund to fund this, donation.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'm going to abstain since I'm on the board for Health Harrison.
Consideration of a request from Healthy Harrison in the amount of $10,000 for professional consulting fee to conduct a comprehensive viability and feasibility study on the potential reopening of the Harrison County YMCA.
I'm going to move this consideration for the sole purpose of discussion.
Second.
Discussion.
I personally think here, and John Paul, I love you, buddy. I think we just kind of need to slow down on this one. I think we have a laundry list of issues with the YMCA right now. We've signed a contract with DOE to let the swim team practice there until March, county swim teams. And I would feel more comfortable if we just table this motion possibly until spring, or sometime when swim teams wrapped up. We've done an thorough inspection of what needs fixed. We kind of know what we're getting into. So I'm going to make a move to table. I'm sorry. Oh,
I've got some questions.
Sir.
Mr. Mardelli, will you come?
It will move to the table.
I did. I'm going to send that for briefly to allow for discussion. Sorry about that.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you guys for having me.
So I saw the biography of the person that you recommended. It was impressive. I guess as I read it though, why did we pick this person?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I give a little bit of
Yeah,
context?
please.
So, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to come and speak, and thanks for putting me on the agenda. And thanks for the invitation to be a part of the discussion. I was pleasantly surprised and pleased to have received a call inquiring whether or not Healthy Harrison would be interested in working to really revive the YMCA. And, you know, I'm in a unique position where I have a very strong board of directors that I report to. And so after a lot of consulting with them and review, we thought it would be most fitting to address the question as to whether or not we could formally be involved by first taking the appropriate steps to do a deep dive, a feasibility, viability, financial kind of analysis of the why. Obviously, we're all aware that the Y is a great asset to the community. You know, I'm sure like all of you, like me, went to the YMCA when we were younger. So it was really unfortunate to see the doors close. But that sort of brings us to today and your question. And so what I would say is that Healthy Harrison is a good candidate to be the middle person in this analysis because we are a 501c3 who seeks to measurably improve the health and well-being of the community. And we're getting ready to go into our 10th year. And as I said, we have a very strong board of directors. One of those members was Glenn Weber. He is one of the original founding members who helped to get Healthy Harrison up and running. And he is an incredible asset. Obviously, his resume speaks for himself. But in addition to helping to really get Healthy Harrison going, he's really helped to keep us not only going, but alive and well for the first 7 years of existence. In addition to that, there's a laundry list of people that I could call right now, and he would be number one on their list. And I hope that he doesn't mind me saying his name, but John Ebert would be one of those people. The 10K was struggling with numbers. In our first year, the first thing we did was more than double the enrollment at the race. And so it's a matter of credibility, the relationship he's built with our organization personally, and really the credentials to do what's necessary to do a full viability assessment of the why that at the end of the day will put the city and Healthy Harrison in a better position to make decisions moving forward. And so the purpose of us being involved in this study isn't necessarily for us to end this and then sign off in our involvement, but rather it's to bring forth our interests, again, because we are a health-focused, a well-being-focused organization. What we're able to do is really serve as a great potential candidate for somebody to partner with the city on a project like this. And so I certainly respect all the things that you said earlier. I know that there's a lot of things on the list that the city has to worry about. I guess the thing that I would represent is that we are very busy as well. And so I do think the opportunity is now for us to do something like this, in part because on Friday we will be concluding our Board of Education project, in which we've included every middle school and high school, and so there is a lapse in time, and so certainly I think through the months of December, January, and maybe even to February, that would be the best time to do this study. And what I would say is that we have no intention of taking the study on as our own. I have every intention to include every one of you. And, that means bringing everybody to the table. And the way that Glenn works is that he workshops it first. So he wants to hear from everyone. And then he boils those ideas down to refinement to where we have a list of categories that he would focus on. And from then he would do the research based on what your team and what my team would be looking for. And so just to kind of come back to your statement, I totally get what you're saying, but I think if you're aiming for the spring to have some consideration, what you could have is a very sound document that puts the city of Clarksburg and Healthy Harrison in a very good position to make the decision on what to do next.
So he did a viability study for the 10K.
He's just, as a consultant, what he does is he does a full analysis of what's going right, what's going wrong, how much the things cost. And so that would be the intent of this study.
So in a situation like the YMCA, though,
Yes.
we know we know something went wrong.
Sure.
'Cause they're not in business.
Sure, but
But we don't
yeah.
have access to financial records.
That could be true, but what I would say, again, if, as a customer, as a potential customer on the other side, that's not a very good sales pitch, is we don't know what's behind the door. We know that it didn't work out. That's the whole point of this study, is to say, let's start asking questions. Okay, maybe we don't have access to the full extent of the YMCA, but there are some people in the know. And obviously I could make a couple calls and try to figure it out, but more formalization, I think, is the proper way to do this professionally.
What is the timetable? Like when would this start? When would it be done?
So again, the conversations I've had with the board and Glenn this is all part of a relationship. So I think that obviously your input would matter. I think Glenn works really hard, and I think that if we put a timeline on it, but again, this is a partnership, and so I really wasn't in a position to start, putting things in the sand until we had a conversation.
Ideally, it would be nice to be ready and have a plan in place for when the swimming is done. And so there's no lapse in anybody using the building. That's the goal.
No, I do agree. So I guess, I haven't done a whole lot of, or I haven't had a lot of experience with viability assessments.
Sure. Yeah.
Is this, because I know it's,
I would say
up to 3 trips from Florida,
Yeah.
8 days a hotel.
Yeah.
So is it? I understand.
I think their question is very valid. What I would say is that the benefit would be to work faster and not slower, right? So if this, the only trip up we're going to run into is Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we have to work around those things. So contingent on when this would be approved, we'll figure out the first next steps with Glenn, thereafter. But I would think that if this goes beyond February, we would have done something terribly wrong, if that makes sense.
Okay. And so when we talk about making sure that lots of people are at the table, does that also include the community?
Yeah, I think so. I think that their voices obviously need to be heard, but I would say that the process is such that, we want to have a laser focus on this. And so obviously what my recommendation would be to first do is to speak to council first, to speak to Healthy Harrison first, and then create some parameters around what's realistic, So for example, if we wanted to, if council was really fixated on making sure that we reopen it as it was in the past, that would be good parameters before we open it to the community, rather than opening it to the community and people saying, let's open a NASA Science Center. And, we would want to have a very focused approach to this.
And to that point, Ryan, I would say that I think at the table, we represent the community. So I think we could be bringing those opinions of the community to the table. That's how I see it.
I agree with you, Vice Mayor. I will say though that I think that there were some good points brought by Mr. Lopez this evening that I hadn't quite thought about of a general assessment, right? And I see the gentleman in the back who talked about WI a couple meetings ago, and I think that there are some viable options, and to that, you're right. We do represent we are the voice of the community, but I think that sometimes it's maybe hard for them to get to us, or some kind of lack of communication.
I think we do have to have workshops with the community because there's been such an outpouring of support for the Y community.
I think so.
And when we write that up, we can put that in the contract that the team is required to have a certain amount of open houses or whatever. The only thing I'm going to encourage council is not to let it sit, because we own the building, so we're going to have to pay to run it. And it would be nice to have something in there that's going to generate some revenue. Otherwise, it's just money out of the budget, keeping the building open to not dilapidate.
my last question, I'll stop talking. Funding source for the $10,000 in the travel fees.
So my recommendation is to take it out of the fund that council made that we split between over $1 million projects for B&O. So one is for economic development, one's for infrastructure. I would suggest taking the $10,000 out of that economic development fund. It fits the criteria that council passed, and it's a relatively low cost to have someone in go say, with input from council community, this is what we can do with it. This may work. This is a great thing for the community. I think it would be a really good document for council to have. And I don't disagree, there needs to be a bigger recreational plan for the city. However, that type of document would take a very long time to create and be very expensive. Right now, we do have the need and we own the why where we need to do something with it.
I do think this acts as a centerpiece to that, and I think that you can work around that. I agree that, Tommy's got a huge heart, and he's thinking for the community. And so there are more opportunities, and I think you can leverage this into those other opportunities because, as you mentioned, getting the community's voice. If the community's crying out and they are in high demand for recreational centers, I think it'll show itself in this study.
I agree. How much money is in the economic development fund?
$486,000.
Okay.
John Paul, has Healthy Harrison ever done a study like this before?
I mean, we're somewhat of a self-study. I know that might sound a little bit odd, but West Virginia University Health Sciences has continued to fund us and support us. And really, we have three pillars. We do, the podcast, we do the in-school things, but then we, Dr. Bill Ramsey frequently will say we're a safe place to bring ideas. And so really, we have been an incubator for a number of different ideas. We've done a suicide prevention project. We've done we've done a number of things. But what I would say is that's a very good question. And what I would say is that while it appears as though we're the ones conducting the study, we're actually the organization that's exploring this opportunity. That's a better way to perceive this, is that I'm not personally equipped to do this study on my own, but the resources that we have access to, including Glenn Weber, are such that, again, you have an organization at the table facilitating these things, these discussions, and really digging in to see if it's viable for us. That's why it's a win-win, because at the end of this, if it doesn't look like a viable opportunity, you'll know that and you'll have proof for that, and you'll be able to share with the community, this is why we couldn't make it work. If it turns out that it is, then you're in a really good position, whether Healthy Harrison decides to move in it or not, for the sole point of the document itself. And I would say that I personally stand by the work that's been completed by him in conjunction with Healthy Harrison.
I mean, my only concern is, John Paul, is that, it is $10,000. We don't really have a written plan,
Yep.
For it. And I admire Healthy Harrison.
Thank you.
And board members, definitely pillars of the community. Just the podcast you have, because I think we just gave you opioid funds for it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
For people's stories, and those stories are very compelling, and they do talk about, how people have recovered from, some pretty, horrendous substances and just, pretty horrendous situations.
That's right.
I just want to make sure, just trying to be good stewards of the taxpayer, that, there's sort of a breakdown.
Sure. I guess what I would perhaps suggest, if I may, certainly I don't want you guys to be on the hook for something that doesn't work out. And so, the payment, I'm sure Glenn's flexible on.
Could you have them quiet down out there in the hallway, please? Sorry. Or I'm sorry, City Manager, can you tell?
Please, thank you, Mark.
I guess my point is, the the payment doesn't all have to be upfront. You know, if you'd like to break it up and maybe perhaps say that, you know, you do half upfront and the half upfront with the understanding that the travel expenses would be included in that. Conduct the assessment with the city, Healthy Harrison, and the community, you know, get the confidence that you need, whatever you would need to hit that second check mark, and then, you know, have it teed up so that if the credentials are met, then you know, smoothly go into the other one without a vote. I don't know if that's possible, but.
And I would just like to say, you know, as a council, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, how much we're concerned about the youth in our community. And, you know, I'm not gonna write $10,000 off as if it's a small amount, but you know what? This isn't gonna break us. We always talk about the youth in our community and how important it is. You know what? It's time to put our money where our mouth is. You know, this isn't a contract that says, okay, we're all signing in to this and we're all gonna be committed. What we're doing is looking at this to say, okay, is this going to work? Will this work? You know, if we don't answer some of these questions on the front end, you know what? We'll find out the hard way on the back end. So this is something that's important that, you know what? If we're really concerned about the youth in our community, one, we own that up there. That's ours. WI, we don't know if we'll ever get that building or not. That doesn't belong to us. That belongs to the school board. So, you know, we can play the if and when and possibly games if we want to, but we know that's our building up there. You know what? We have a chance to do right by the youth in our community. And I think it's time that we step up and we make this step and we start working for the youth in our community.
But how do we get up there?
They'll get up there the same way they've been getting up there for all these past years.
I'm just gonna add real quick. You know, you mentioned the word demand. You know, I hate to be the eternal pessimist here, but I have a problem with creating demand. You know me personally, John. You know what I said politically.
Yeah, you're a great guy.
And you as well. But I think we just can't create demand. And, you know, I hate to be in this position where we have the consultant come and the consultant comes and really either one says, no, this isn't going to work. That would be, you know, okay, yeah, you're right. We know. We now know. Or, oh, yeah, we've got this great idea. We've got this great plan. And then we're looking at another empty Y in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This isn't the first time the Y is closed. I mean, this seems like a habitual thing for the YMCA. So that's my concern. I believe if there was a demand, the YMCA would be open. That's how supply and demand works. That's the most fundamental law of economics, basic economics. So that's my concern. Yeah, $10,000 isn't a lot of money. It's not. But you know, say we follow through, and then Healthy Harrison has to raise money, and we got to submit. You know, then we're looking at a lot of money, and that's my concern. I'm going to go back to my table motion and offer a table, and we can revisit it whenever we feel comfortable about revisiting. But I just that's where I'm at, and I'll look for a second, I suppose.
I'll second your motion.
The motion is second. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Councilmember Dees?
No.
Councilmember Hyman?
No, I'm sorry. Yes, sorry. Getting sidetracked here. Sorry about that.
Councilmember Jackson?
No.
Councilman Ward?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rickman?
No. Motion fails. Any more discussion? Back to the original motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Councilmember Dees?
Yes.
Councilmember Hyman?
No.
Councilmember Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Ward?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rickman?
Yes. Motion carries.
I just want to say thank you, and I promise I'll bring your hearts to the table and make sure we do you proud, guys.
I'm
All
sure
right.
we'll talk.
Thanks. Thanks.
Got a question. It's about the garbage in our community.
Oh, excuse me, sorry, you can't speak. We can talk after the meeting. Somebody get Councilman Howell back. We want him, we want to vote on bringing him back. Was he the one out there talking?
Probably.
Consideration of rescheduling the November 20th regular session of council to Tuesday, November the 18th, due to UNLC conference.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Were we anticipating a lot of people heading down there?
For council members.
Four, okay, all right, that's fine. I was just curious, I didn't know, I hadn't heard much about it.
Any more discussion? There's a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'm gonna deviate from the agenda, go to council comments. Councilman Hyman?
Well, we've got some, serious issues to discuss, so I'm gonna be short. And I'm gonna be honest, a little disappointed, the statement that was released, by the city regarding the, issue that we're currently facing. Just let everybody know that I didn't feel like that was representative of me. Others, people mileage may vary, but, sometimes things happen like that, and that's, I'm sure we'll be talking about it more in the future. So that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Moore?
Thank everyone for coming out, and I thank you for your concerns. This is this, and understanding the water project is, this is tough. And I drive on those roads too. And sometimes I gotta go through Rod Oaks just to get to work on time, because you never know when you're gonna get stopped on East Main Street or how long you're gonna get stopped. Infrastructure is your backbone of your community. Without your infrastructure, you don't have a city. And I'm not an engineer. I'm not an architect. I'm frustrated too. But I know at the end of the day, and I know probably, a year or a year and a half from now, we have brand new roads and brand new water lines and brand new gas lines and brand new sewer lines. I think at the end of the day, we said, I'm glad we did this. Whether it took a year, took 2 years, took 3 years. I think Clarksburg is going to really benefit from it. We're practically in a new city, on the surface and underneath of us. And something that will last for 100 years. So I'm not going to ask people to be patient. If you're still upset, please come up here and tell us. Maybe there's something that we could bring to the contractors to tweak some things to to make convenience a little bit better. And I think we're going to be doing that probably 2 weeks from now. So. Other than that, I don't really, I just, like I said, I really appreciate everybody coming out. And like, Councilmember Hyman said, the statement from the city wasn't representative of me. And with that said, I appreciate you guys coming out, and God bless.
Councilman Jackson?
I would like to thank everyone for coming out this evening. I'm glad that we at least got to move forward with a few things on the agenda. And, I understand everyone's frustration. I drive on these roads just like you do. When I try to take that back route and I get around there just to find out that they're digging on that back route, you know what? It really frustrates me. Or that guy who's standing there holding that sign, it should be going stop and slow, and he's scrolling on his phone, But you know what? In the end run, folks, we have to look at the big picture. I get it. You know what? This progress is inconvenient. Progress is inconvenient. But think about how many times that we've had water lines blow out, before this started. I can remember about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we had a water line fall out down here, right there by the Heartland Planing Mill. And the street was closed for roughly about 48 hours. People lost their minds. I can't believe the roads. You know what? This is why we're doing this. You know, is it a perfect plan? Absolutely not. Is there such thing as a perfect plan? I doubt it. I doubt it. But you know what? We're working hard to try to make sure that we can basically start to minimize the types of problems that we're running into with our infrastructure. You know, and as someone stated earlier, yeah, there are 3 projects going on. We have some of the biggest infrastructure work going on in the state right now. You know, we're lucky that the money is there so that we can get this work done. You know, instead of, you know, we do this work and then we dig up the street and we do this work. That's the kind of things that have been done in the past. And that's why we've wasted so much money and we've wasted so much time. Let's stop wasting time and money. Let's get this done. Let's get these streets paved and let's get this thing moving. So, you know, I understand your frustration, but I'll ask again, you know, please be patient. You know, I'm right there with you. When I pull up there and I have to sit and wait and wonder, you know what, that light's changed 3 times and this little dude ain't let one person go through. You know, but I have to wait with you. So I have to be patient right along with you. But thank you all once again for coming out this evening.
Councilman Davis?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Yeah, I'm kind of done being patient with the roads. I'm incredibly frustrated. I do thank the city manager for moving forward with getting those people here for a meeting with us. And I had a very impassioned conversation with the city manager yesterday about the roads, where I was, you know, quite frankly, I feel like our neighborhoods have been abused, and they have left us, and they don't care. The quality of what we're left with on the weekends, or you know, driving over, it's not good. And I'm not here to say that I could do any better or I know a better way. I teach music for a living, so but like you were talking about road work, I'm putting off 4 new tires and an alignment as long as I can. You know, and so I think that everybody needs to approach this work in good faith. That when, you know, that we're not just meeting the bare minimum of the contract, but we're leaving it in a place where it's usable for those of us that live there. I would like to thank the city manager for the comprehensive plan. I look forward to having a work session where we can start to discuss that and implement it. I thank you, everybody, for coming out. I would be remiss if I didn't tell everybody the Robertson Bird High School Theater Department is putting on The Addams Family. Let's see. Well, you're not going to make the show tonight because it started at 7. But Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 2. Some of my students are there. 4 former students are at Bird now. It's really great. We took the middle school there yesterday. So please go see that and support the arts in our community. Yeah, the statement that was released yesterday also does not speak for me.
And yes, I would also like to say, I'd like to urge everyone, you know, when we have that meeting and the inspectors come up, I encourage you all, fill the room up. Fill the room up, please. Tell your friends, tell your family, come on up here and fill the room up. And also, folks, I don't like to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm just going to put it out there. You know what? Fill up the water board's meeting like you fill up these meetings right here. Because the water board has a lot to do with what's going on these streets up here, especially our side streets. So please, don't hesitate to attend those meetings as well, because they are in charge of that project that's going on at the water board. You know, we'll do our part, but please don't hesitate to fill up their meeting rooms as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat that to a dead horse about the infrastructure, but we definitely understand your thoughts and your concerns. Some of them keep continuing to go down that road, but thank you for your comments. And we do hear you, we do listen to you. when you speak about those. And again, please come to the meeting on 18th if those inspectors are going to be here, and let them know how you feel, and maybe they can hear it straight from you and make some corrections on some of the things they're doing. Also, speaking to the other council members, I too, I don't think a statement necessarily reflects my thoughts or my feelings, but it was put out, so do appreciate that. And then also, have a couple of things. I just want to also commend. Sometimes I'm a little harsh sometimes on people when they make comments that I don't think they think through. But at the same time, I'm more than happy to give positive comments when people do the right thing as well. But I would like to commend the Harris County Board of Education with Doug Hogue. At the last meeting, he did speak up on behalf of Robert C. Byrd about some funds that were going to be transferred maybe out of the contingency fund or a fund that was in place. I just hope Robert C. Byrd does apply for those funds in a timely manner to secure them. But I do appreciate that he is looking out for one of our local schools as well for that. And then, I would like council, I noticed this the other day. I was down behind the fire department driving to avoid some of the construction. But I did notice, Chief, don't be embarrassed, but I noticed your vehicle back there, and I really think that we need to take a look at that vehicle. I think it's probably 14 years old or something, and I don't even think the lights are probably the right color on that thing either. I mean, it's in bad shape, and I think we really need to look at a replacement SUV for that as well sometime in the near future. But I think that was a hand-me-down from the police department, a cruiser or something that was put over to the fire department a couple of years ago. And I don't think it's a safe vehicle to be out on the road. So your safety is pertinent to us. So I think we need to take a look at that as well for replacement. The vice mayor stated too, and I know we all struggle with naming things here. It is a very difficult decision to come up with names. Everybody has, their feelings, their beliefs. Their hearts are in it. And I think we all, we don't take that lightly. I think we do, look at the bios we receive and try to make the best decision possible. We don't always make people happy, but that's that's something we try to take into consideration when we are naming these types of things as well.
Well, I want to thank you for educating the residents of Broad Oaks, because when they cross that bridge and they see that sign, they'll say, "Who the hell is that?" And they'll have to look it up.
Well, maybe when we have the bridge dedication, maybe the Broad Oaks community will come down and learn a little bit about it. So that would, that's always an open invitation as well. I think that's all I have, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Thank everybody for coming out. A lot of passion in the room. Of course, when I'm running the meeting, there's passion. And our mayor's at the beach right now, sitting in the sand. He sent me a few text messages telling me what to do. I ignored him, obviously, but he's watching this. So, again, everybody's passionate. We get it. The roads awful. My son even gets mad in the background because he always gets in the car in the morning. We drive a school bus, so he tries to go back to sleep in the back seat while we go over to the, and he can't fall asleep anymore. So he's mad. He handles it better than I do, but you can tell he's angry. So we get it. Everybody gets it. I want to thank the city manager for putting that meeting together and put the pressure on those to all show up. And I want the community to show up. And that's it. If you see something, say something. And you got a motion to adjourn?
You have a motion for pursuant to Chapter 6, Article 9A, Section 4 of the West Virginia Code, of the council adjourn in executive session to discuss personal matters, and that the following persons be present: the mayor and members of Clarksburg City Council, and further reserving the right to call other persons into this executive session as necessary.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? That's carries.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carries.
Now, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Did you have something to say? I mean, I can resist.
Oh. All right, yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. We're adjourned.